Alright guys, welcome back to Patreon requests, and as always, if you would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, where if you hit the 4th tier, you guys can send me requests for videos to do here on YouTube. So this one comes from Hunter Johnson, who asked me to do a pretty fun crossover between Eddy and Phantasm. Which is kind of fun, because I haven't really done I really love Phantasm, but I don't think I've ever done a lot of things with the videos. I haven't really done a lot of videos of Phantasm here on YouTube, here on my YouTube channel. So I figured, what the hell, I will do. This would be a perfect opportunity to do Phantasm as a video. I thought this would be pretty fun to do as a video. So let's get started with this video. So our story begins basically with the Eds running for their lives after another failed scam. And essentially what happens is that they have run so far they've ended up in a graveyard, in a wayward graveyard. The thing is that this graveyard wasn't here before, and Ed just makes a mention of, oh, maybe they transferred all the it was a grave transfer from one graveyard to another. And they're like, that makes no sense, it takes too long, what the hell's going on here? But anyway, it's a nice way to leave. It's a nice place to hide out. And Ed is like, maybe we'll see a zombie. And Double D's like, I don't want to be here, guys. I really don't want to be here anymore. Please, can we leave? And Eddy is like, why, Double D? You scared? And Ed is like, yeah, Double D. Are we going to see a zombie from the planet Neptune? And during all of this, they see a funeral home not too far away, and they're like, well, maybe we can hide here. And he's like, and Double D is like, funeral home? No, gentlemen, I have had enough. I would like to go home. However, as they're approaching it, they see the tall man get out of the hearse and carry a body into the funeral home. And it's a little weird because they see the coffin like banging, and they're like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. So, however, Ed, curious, goes in for a closer look. So Eddy and Double D have to go in after him. So they go looking around and encounter his little minions and whatnot. And of course, when the tall man sees the Eds, he's like, boys, and immediately. Excuse me. They immediately do the most logical thing they have ever done. Scream and run away. Yeah. So the Eds, hightail it out of there after being seen by the tall man. And they're just like, I don't know what was going on over there. I don't want to know. But, situation's over. We're good. We don't need to worry about that anymore. We're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. We're good. We're all good. Yeah. We're all fine. We're good. We're fine. Everything is not fine, however, because later that night, each of the Eds, when they're trying to get to sleep that night, are besieged by the tall man's minions, and each one of them have to find a way to get out of there. Eddy, of course, jumps through his own bedroom window and hauls it out of there. Ed is attacked by the minions, and he actually, during the scuffle, as they're trying to drag him away, the Lothar helmet lands on his head, and he immediately takes on the Lothar personality and starts wrecking house with them. Double D is trapped in his room, screaming for mercy when Ed and Eddy come to his rescue, and the trio are like, "What is going on? Who are those guys? Why are we being attacked by them?" And this and that. They are just completely terrified by all of this. They don't know what to do. It's insane. So eventually, Eddy's the one who kind of puts it all together. It's like, what if it's that weird, funeral home? What if it was that weird funeral home we encountered? We saw some weird stuff there. Maybe we should go back and try to figure out what's going on. And Double D is like, Eddy, that's preposterous. There's no way a funeral home has that. Yeah, well, we just saw that before. So the trio go to further investigate the home, and they run into the tall man again. And this is where Eddy. Before they go, though, they actually pack stuff, because they actually pack gear Ed as Lothar grabs his handy dandy spatula for combat. And he's like, Lothar needs spatula for spatuling. So the group all go to the funeral home and encounter the tall man again, and this time they encounter the tall man and his shiny balls. Which if this was an actual episode, there'd be this great episode. It's like balls, and Eddy Double D would be running down the hallway as the silver balls are chasing him. And he's like, Eddy, balls, and Eddy's like, balls. And then he sees the silver balls flying at them with the blades out, and he's like, balls. And when they're both running down the hall, they're like, Ed, balls, balls. So, when Ed sees the silver balls flying at them, he's like, batter up! And hits them back. He actually hits the tall man in the head with one of them, and while he's distracted, they try to find a way out of there. However, they end up in a room where it leads to the other dimension that we saw in the first movie. So it freaks them all out, and they're like, what is going on? I don't get this. Let's get the hell out of here. So they have to fight their way out of one dimension. They're like, it's like a door gag. From Scooby-Doo, one of those door gags where they're all just kind of like running in and out of rooms, and they're all just panicking and running around. But eventually they do kind of find their way out, but as they're trying to escape, the tall man follows them, and Ed, as Lothar, is like, beware, old man, I am the strength of... He just gets backhanded, and Ed's like, guys, Lothar is scared now. So they get chased into a autopsy room, and basically where they prep the bodies for display. And what happens is Double D, in an act of courage to save Ed and Eddy's life, takes the formic acid and stuffs it down his throat, kind of like an homage to Phantasm 2, and kills him. And he's like, oh my god, I committed murder. This will stain my soul forever. And Eddy's like, no time to worry about guilt, Double D. We gotta go. So by the end of it, they all, the trio escape, and it's like, yeah. Finally, it's over. And that, in typical Phantasm fashion, this would be like, the tall man, explodes out, they're closed the door, and the window's there, and he's like, boys! And just, the hands start reaching out from the mirror to grab them. So, there you go, guys. That is the my Ed, and Eddy Phantasm crossover. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of it? And once again, I'd like to thank Hunter Johnson for this Patreon request. Like I said before, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.